Good evening, YouTube, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 3 of the FPL Family. It looks kind of scary, actually, being a bit big on the screen, doesn't it?
I like being that big.
It looks a bit scary. I kind of like it. Guys, we're trying to up our game. We're trying to be different. So the reason we're doing that is this is inspired by Let's Talk FPL Andy, who I think is on after us, guys. So at the end of this stream, make sure you go and watch Andy's stream. But we watched his stream the other day. Oh, this guy is so slick. Oh, it's so slick, isn't it? And I thought, we got up our game.
Well, yeah, and we had some positive feedback, didn't we, after the Wildcat appearance about how you liked it, because you could see us a bit better.
So now we're going to try. I'm going to try and do like transitions. I'm going to try and we're going to go into usual sort of mode in a minute. But I thought we'd sort of do the hellos and the welcomes in this sort of widescreen format. I don't know. Do you guys like it? If you like it, we'll do it more. If you don't, and you prefer the old format, we will bin it. But good evening, welcome to FPL Family.
Being that large, isn't it?
It's a bit large. I'm not sure about it myself. Guys, welcome. Thank you for joining. What are we going to discuss today? So we are basically taking a bit of a checkpoint. Here, aren't we? We've done season preview 1.0, 2.0, and thank you for all of you guys that tuned in for those videos, because they've got some great viewing numbers, actually. Way more than we could have ever anticipated and expected. They've been really, really great, haven't they?
One's like 4.2 and one's like 3.8 or something.
It's just like awesome. Just really, really good. So, guys, thank you for tuning in to season preview 3.0. This is the last kind of season preview one we're going to do. We are going to do another live stream, probably middle of next week, I guess, sort of Wednesday, not Thursday, because it starts on Friday, doesn't it? Friday kickoff, right?
Yeah, but Thursday's transfer deadline day.
Oh, yeah, that could be good, couldn't it?
And it's your birthday, so we can have cake.
You can sing me happy birthday live on air.
I'm not singing on air.
So, guys, we will probably do another stream middle of next week where we'll be slipping seamlessly back into FPL Family mode.
When have we ever done that?
Which is, it'll be smooth as you like, Sam. It'll be smooth. We're going to slip seamlessly back into FPL Family mode. We're going to be back into looking ahead at fixtures, looking into who we're going to captain, who the jammy picks. I missed jammy pick. I haven't done a jammy pick yet this year. I missed jammy pick
for a while.
So we're going to go into all of that stuff. We're going to look at how many people we've got in our league, all of that stuff. But for tonight, we're going to have a kind of checkpoint. We're going to look at who's going to be or who's now in our teams. And I must admit, I even put a tweet out there, I think it was yesterday, and it was one of these threaded tweets that had about 7 all joined. And I said, right, let's see your core, guys. Let's see your core players. Who is locked in your team, not moving, will be there game week 1. And I put 7 candidates that were in my team, and I was like, right, these are 100% locked in, not changing. I think I've changed 3 since I put that tweet out. At least 3.
That's because every time I look at you, and this is not an exaggeration, every time I've looked at him this weekend when he's not been busy dealing with a child or another, he's had the FPL app open. And I'm like, what are you doing? Man. He's like, I'm just making a transfer. Is that another one?
I've gone into proper tinker mode.
But this is what we said last season. You've got to not do this. You
I can't help it, Sam. I can't help it. But I've got really excited about football being back. I mean, I was sitting there and I was watching Leeds v Stoke or whatever it was, and just loving it.
We've had literally.
We've
watched Rangers today. We've watched the Charity Shield today.
Stevie G's first game as a manager. We had to watch that, and of course, you're absolutely right. Of course, we've watched the Community Shield.
And what have we had in constant background chatter? Can we have CBeebies on? Can we have CBeebies on? Yeah. No, football's on. Can we have CBeebies on? No, the football's on.
No, and be quiet, because we're trying to see where Mendy's running. Do you know what I mean? We've gone from, because we didn't play the World Cup fantasy game, did we?
No, we didn't.
So we kind of just sat and relaxed, and we watched the games, and it was all very harmonious, and it was lovely. I've now gone back into maniacal FPL. Where is Mahrez running? Why did Jorginho pass it to the left? How is David Luiz doing in terms of his clearance blocks into? I've gone back into hyper analysis mode, and I'll tell you what, I love it. Absolutely loved watching the Community Shield. It actually wasn't the best game in the world, was it? It was actually an all right game. I thought both teams sort of tired in the second half. It was nice to see Chelsea under Sarri and see how they're going to play. A lot of work to do, I think. A lot of work to do there, I think. But it looks as if City kind of picked up where they left off. So we will absolutely be covering the Community Shield a bit later on today as well. We've got some polls, as ever. I'm starting to be a bit better with my polls, as you can see. So
couldn't have got any worse.
Oh, goodness me. It's a bit early for that sort of thing, isn't it? But no, the polls are in, guys. We've got 3 polls. Click the eye in the top right-hand corner. The 3 polls this evening. We want to know, and this came from Clarky17 on Twitter. So, Clarky, if you're out there, thank you for joining. And we are going to say hello to everybody in just a second. And we're going to switch from this ridiculous widescreen massive head mode into normal mode in a second. But the polls, guys, are best ultra budget midfielder. So who's going to be your fifth midfielder? Now, absolutely a good strategy to go with. You know, a couple of heavy hitters and some 6.5s. But a lot of people will be looking at that cheap 5.0 midfielder. So we've got Neves, Kenny, Jorginho, Kennedy. And then there's a bit of a curveball. We've got Callum Hudson-Odoi there from Chelsea, who did play today. Is he there long term? Is he a bit of a short term pick at 4.5? Do you care? Who knows? So that's one of the polls. The second one is best non-top 6 defence. So I've seen a lot of drafts with Liverpool, Man City, Davis from Spurs, some Arsenal defenders, etc. Who's going to be the best non-top 6 defence? And I've just put 6 out there that I think are going to be half decent for the first few fixtures. So if you don't agree with those that are in there, which is Southampton, Palace, Everton, Leicester and Wolves, do let us know. Comment in the live chat, see what you think. And the third one is Bernardo Silva, in or out. Now, I did this poll. I put this poll together about, I was doing it about 10 or 15 minutes ago. And just as we were about to come on, just as we were coming on, you found a tweet where Pep said something about Bernardo Silva. Tell the guys, if you've not seen this already, what were his words about Bernardo Silva? Can you, if you can't remember the exact words, give us a flavour for what the tweet was all about.
That he's going to play and then everyone else will pick themselves.
More or less that, guys, wasn't it? More or less that. It was kind of like
he's on the sheet.
Yeah, he was given a question about, you know, how do you feel about the fitness of your players or something, and his words were something along the lines of, at the moment it's Bernardo and 10 others.
Yeah, that's right.
So that is a gift, isn't it?
7 mil.
7.5. That is an absolute gift from Pep Guardiola. So guys, go check out that.
As well, I thought.
Go check out that post-match interview with Pep Guardiola. Go and check those comments out at 7.5 for that really nice run of fixtures. And he's been playing really well in pre-season. Played well again in the Community Shield today. 7.5 looks like an absolute steal. Guys.
I was having a look before we came on. The reason this came up because I was looking to see if there was any word on Sané. Obviously went off with a bit of a knock of some kind, but can't see anything official yet. So hold the line on that.
Now, guys, this is where we could have lights out. It could all go wrong.
I'm not touching it.
Let's see if we can, in a very slick way, move over to the main screen. Wait a minute. Wait for this. Oh, look at that. Look at that. With my new microphone, we've sorted the light out to a degree.
Well we've shut the curtain.
We've shut the curtain, yeah. We've shut the curtain. Cool. Right, guys, we are back in normal mode. So if you liked that little introductory bit there with the big screen, let us know. If you didn't, comment below. We'll either do it or not do it based on what you guys want. But we're going to say hello to the guys that are in. So we've got 110 people in, Sam. 110 people in already.
That's amazing.
That's crazy. Can you tell? It's FPL time. Can you tell we've got a week to go? Less than a week to go until it all kicks off. I don't know,
but I do love it.
5 days. 5 days.
So I took myself off earlier, didn't I? I sat in the garden by myself. Lee comes out. He's like, do you want a cup of tea? What are you doing out here anyway? I was like,
guys, I couldn't.
I'm just FPLing.
I couldn't believe it, but what commitment! What commitment! I was sitting there watching the dregs of the Community Shield.
No, it was Rangers game. I wasn't bothered about that.
Oh, the Rangers game. That's right. I was watching the dregs of that and watching Stevie unluckily conceding in the 95th minute or whatever they did. And you were just happily sitting out in the garden making notes on FPL. That is commitment. I'm very, very impressed with that. Very, very impressed with that. So, guys, let's say hello to a few of you guys. So, Luca Elliott, thank you for joining. I liked the big stream. Awesome. Thank you, mate.
Did you? Okay, cool.
Nick Greenwood said, ooh, so excited for the start of FPL. Excellent. Olaf, so it's Olaf, sorry. And then no, Olaf that's because I've been watching too much Frozen, isn't it? But Olaf, and then a surname which... That is a surname, guys. That puts the Mkhitaryan's and the Aubameyangs into perspective, that does. Leach Hal is how I'm going to say that. Olaf, if I've said that wrong, I'm really sorry, but it's a first-time viewer, so welcome. Welcome to FPL Family. Thank you for joining in. Vankush is here. Thank you for joining, Vankush. Scented Blood is here. Conrad is here. Michelle, how are you doing? Good evening. Thank you for joining. FPL Cadet says, Man City on fire. I tell you what, they were, weren't they? I looked at their first 11 and I thought, that's a pretty decent first 11. Then I looked at the bench and I thought, got a lot of options on the bench. And then I thought, who's in the stands? KDB?
It was when
Sterling?
KDB came on the screen and you went, oh, forgot about you.
Their best 4 players weren't even playing. It was just absolutely incredible. The strength in depth that Man City have got, guys, is incredible.
But what's unbelievable is how happy they all are. Like, to keep all of these amazing players content. Pep is what can you say about the man?
Well, that's why some of them are coming back from the World Cup and back from their holidays early. They want to get back in that team. I think Carl Walker was one that said,
well, I
said publicly.
That. Yeah, I said to you today, didn't I? I was like, Carl Walker's only just got back, and you were like, well, competition.
Yeah, he wants to get back in that team. They don't want to lose their place, and that is the sort of environment that Pop. Who's Pop?
That's Max's cat.
That Pop has festered, as I was going to say, but Pep has fostered. Sorry, Pop has festered, but Pop is doing a great job at Man City at bringing that sort of environment.
Oh, goodness
Eddie
me.
Gooner is here. Good evening, Eddie Gooner. FPL the Daily Llama is here. Daily Llama. Good evening. Vankush is here as ever. Vankush, thank you for joining. Tom Bennett is here. Jeff Holt, the man, the myth, the legend. That is Mr. Jeff Holt is here.
Jeffers.
And he's wishing me a very happy 25th birthday, which is very kind of him.
Jeff.
Very kind of you,
Don't
Jeff.
flatter him.
Very
Don't
kind
flatter
of you,
him, Jeff. You've got Rad
Jeff.
quite a few years.
Already liked
to
him
that.
before. Never mind. Now he said that. That's it. He's top of the in-laws list now. Top of the list, absolutely. Josh Telling is here. Josh, thank you for joining.
Josh.
Robert Hansen is here. Now look, listen. So guys, this is a new thing, guys. This is a new thing.
What's happened with the blue box?
What? I hadn't even told you this. But guys, this is something we're trying, right? So this is not a prerequisite for joining in with these live streams at all. But YouTube said to me the other day, do you want to turn on Super Chat? I was like, what the hell's Super Chat? So I was like, what is Super Chat? And it said, people can highlight their comments if they want to give some money to the stream. I was like,
what?
See how it goes. I mean, guys, listen, if you want to do that, we would welcome it and we would thank you, and it'd be very, very lovely for you to do that. But by no means is it a prerequisite for being here. This is just something that YouTube said, turn it on if you like, and I did. So thank you very much for that donation. Very, very kind of you. Battlefront HQ is here. Robert Moore is here. Henrik Pedersen's here. Eric Lord's here. Dom J's here. I think I saw Andrew Yee there as well. Sal Hill is here. Guys, there's 115 people in, Sam. 115 people in.
It's because they're all really excited to see the wooden spoon, isn't it? That's why.
They're all really excited about Pop and his Man City team.
Yeah.
But you guys, absolutely, so you've just alluded to it there. We should cover that, actually. So,
well, I didn't know if you'd left it here because you wanted to show people, so I could,
Well, no, this is great because this was absolutely 100% your idea, wasn't it? And here at FPL Family, we try not to take FPL too seriously. We do.
I wonder what you were going to say then.
No, we do. We obviously we take FPL seriously, but at the end of the day, we try and have a bit of fun with it, don't we? So we saw all these other, there's a lot of other bloggers out there and vloggers, and they're all giving away prizes for, Manager of the Month and stuff. And by the way, we've got some prizes for Manager of the Month. We're going to come to that in just a second.
Yeah, and I've had some lovely ones from Mystic Maya from their dive.
Yeah, absolutely. So some great stuff going out there.
Mm.
But here we like to have a bit of fun. So what we thought we'd do is it's just as fun actually to talk about the success. But sometimes FPL doesn't go the way you want it to go, does it? It doesn't go the way. Sometimes it's just bad luck.
Mostly, actually.
And that is why I was top 200k last year. It's because it was such bad luck. That's what it was. It was pure and unadulterated luck. So we've done a wooden spoon. So do you want to show the guys the wooden spoon? I'm going to get the OBS up here so you can see, see. There it is. So you might want to zoom in on the camera on the little FPL Family sticker there. Yeah. So this is just a bit of a gimmick, guys. But we thought,
I don't even know if that's focused. Oh, yeah, sorry, guys.
I can see that.
You can see it.
Yeah. Woo. So what we thought we'd do is for the manager that gets the worst score of the game week, whether they're just terrible or it's bad luck or whatever, we will send you an FPL Family wooden spoon.
And you can cook with it.
It's absolutely 100% a wooden spoon.
And it's microwave and dishwasher safe.
Like that matters. I love it. Like that matters. Brilliant. So what we will do is if you come bottom, right?
And if you're Jeff, because Jeff really wants his, if he wins one signed, we will sign them for you.
So Jeff, bless you. Jeff is testing out the super chat, and he's donated us £2. That is, what a legend, Jeff. What a legend. So kind of you.
It's paid for a spoon.
It's paid for a couple of spoons, actually. Absolutely right. So, guys, if you are the worst manager of the week in the FPL Family League, we will be checking out your team.
Probably win one myself.
We'll be seeing how you do, and then we'll be sending you an FPL Family wooden spoon. Now, there's a lot of feedback on Twitter about what about dead teams? What about people that are putting in... So, somebody said, by the way, said, I might just put a team in to lose a game week so I can get a spoon.
Yeah,
I said, that's not the idea.
Well,
okay?
Somebody did say to me, it might have even been Jeffers, said to me that they were going to play all of the World Cup returners for the game week 1 and then play a wild card afterwards.
That's not really.
There are better ways to win a spoon.
Yeah. That's not really what we're trying to go for.
There'll be some spoons at the end of the season as well for our rewards at the end of the season. So please don't worry.
And Tony Terrell, another £2. Good, keep up the good work. Watched you last season, Tony. Thank you very much. Very, very kind of you to super chatters. Absolutely very kind of you. So that is the FPL Family wooden spoon. for the manager of the month. And by the way, guys, this is a live unveiling.
I'm going to let you unveil it because
Have you seen this?
Well, I've designed them, so I've seen them on computer.
So what we've got, guys, is because it seems like a bit of a thing to have a mug, right? All of the main vloggers and streamers have all got mugs, right? And we thought, well, we're both mugs, so let's have a mug. So we've got an FPL family mug. Now, you've designed this, but not seen it in the flesh. Well, we've not opened this box yet.
So basically, let me just tell you the story behind this mug before you open it.
We better do it quickly, because at some stage, Sam, we do have to talk about Fantasy Premier League.
So on last week, Lee was away overnight with work, and he left me with the task of designing said mugs, because apparently I'm better at it. Debatable. As you'll see in a minute. However, I decided to do it from my phone. Not a good idea. Should have done it on a computer. It was also impossible to pick a decent background that actually went with FPL. So
Right, get this open. Get this open. So, I open it. Right, okay. So you've designed this, not seen it. I've not seen the design or the mug at all.
No. And by the way, they are all...
The box is open. Did you just
I preempted it because...
you just pre-opened that little bit?
Because otherwise you'll go to me, have you got any scissors?
Oh, it looks good. Guys, it looks quite good. Check this out, guys. Check this out. Right, can you see this on the OBS? Look at that. Our mugs on a mug. Look at that.
And it says FPL Family on it.
And it says FPL Family on it. Look at that.
And it's got some arrows on it.
What sort of arrows?
Well, they weren't. I wanted them to be green, but they didn't have green, so they're
grey arrows.
But it matches Luke's new background colour for us, was my thinking.
Why have you got a mug with grey arrows? So you tune into FPL Family and stay the same rank every week.
Well, if you're top, that's good, right?
Okay.
You're the manager of the month.
So guys, look, we'll be talking about. That's what we're talking about right there.
Oh, and by the way, the ones I've ordered so far, they're all somewhat different because I couldn't get them all quite the same.
What are you talking about?
Well, they're not all completely the same because I couldn't remember what font I'd used. So
you didn't just design this in order 4. You've done 4 different designs
in 4 different accounts. Yeah.
Bespoke FPL family mugs. Bespoke FPL family mugs that. I don't know, you must have spent several evenings doing that. So, guys, that is what we will be giving.
A mug and a spoon.
Guys, that is what we will be giving out to the manager of the month.
And it's quite a nice photo of us.
It's a nice photo of us, so I'm sure the guys will be absolutely delighted drinking their coffee out of our faces.
Also, dishwasher and microwave safe.
Excellent, right, excellent. Right, guys, that is enough of the nonsense. We've got spoons for people that are rubbish. We've got cups for people that are great. And we've got, we've got
you and I.
136 people wondering what the hell...
Everyone loves the mugs. They've brought more people on board.
We've got 136 people wondering why the hell we haven't discussed anything to do with the Community Shield. Now, let's start there. And by the way, guys, on the left-hand side, you will see our Twitter page. We need a quick plug for that. So if you're not following us on Twitter, @FPLFamily. And also the Insta page looks like this, if you want to interact with Sam. What's this? Is you having a cup? Oh, this is you doing your notes.
But, sorry, just to interrupt you once more. People are saying, can you get this if you're international? Yeah, we'll post them abroad. That's fine. Lee'll pay.
You can't say that. You can't say that.
Well, we will post them abroad. If you win and you're abroad, we will post them.
We absolutely will. Take it case by case. We'll see how it goes. Right. So 512 followers on the Insta, so that's growing. That's really, really good. And on the Twitter, we are somewhere like 4,500 followers. So it's really, really exploded in the last couple of weeks. So guys, thank you for following us on there. If you haven't already, check us out on both of those mediums.
And we should say our actual YouTube subscription hit over 1.5k, didn't it?
1.5k in there as well. So guys, if you haven't hit that sub button already, hit that sub button. Now, Community Shield.
Okay.
First thoughts on what you thought about the Community Shield?
It solidified my decision to have Aguero in my team.
Yes, absolutely.
Because
was Aguero in your team before the Community Shield?
Yeah, Aguero's been in my side all season, all pre-season.
Okay.
I just felt that Man City had the nicer fixtures over Arsenal.
While you're discussing that, keep going. I'm going to put your team as it stands. This is me, isn't it? I'm going to put this. So this is your draft as it stands. Okay. 2.5 million players in the game. Okay.
So I kind of, for me, it solidified the decision with Aguero. I was already feeling fairly confident about that based on Pep's comments in the week about wanting to play 3-5-2. Because that's worked pre-season.
Do you know what? Pep has actually given us some little nuggets.
It's been quite nice, hasn't he?
I wonder if he's playing FPL this year. He's given us some little nuggets of information.
He's probably in PVA's league.
He's in Patrick Van Arnhout's league. That's what you're absolutely right, yeah.
Yeah, so I was fairly confident that Aguero is going to play alongside Jesus this season. Or, that there'll be 2 of them up top. So, for me, watching him today just reiterated that that's the right thing to do.
Okay, Josh is saying, Aguero nailed in my first draft since the beginning. Lock on Kun. Aid, good evening, how you doing? He's saying Aguero is in my team. Absolutely there.
And that's an Arsenal fan talking in Aid.
Absolutely there. So for me, Aguero actually wasn't in. I've been banging on about Aubameyang, as have half of the Twitter community for many, many weeks now, and how I think that he's got the potential to be Golden Boot. He had a cracking second half of last season. And I actually did manage to build a draft that had Aubameyang, Aguero and Salah in it. Yeah. It was to the detriment of the defence, there's no doubt about it. But I managed to get those three in, and it wasn't a terrible team, but it was pretty unbalanced. So I think the general consensus, the general feel is, if you're going to go Salah, you've got to kind of pick either Aubameyang or Aguero. Yeah. So, and I think today kind of solidifies it, doesn't it?
Well, I think it's tough, right? Because for me, Aubameyang has had a fantastic pre-season. There is no doubt about that, and Arsenal are looking decent going into this season. However, those first two games, they're not easy for Arsenal, and so for me, that's why it's Aguero over Aubameyang at the moment. That doesn't mean that later on in the season I won't be swapping Aguero for Aubameyang, because things will change. However, right now, I feel like Aguero is the right pick, particularly after what we watched in the community show today.
And Burma Baines is saying Aguero over Aubameyang at least to start. Mitesh is saying would still go Aubameyang long term. So that's kind of interesting. Well, but then Pep's come out and said he's thinking 3-5-2 with the two up front. So it's not quite as risky to pick Aguero if he feels like the team going forward is those two up front.
But let's not rule Kane out of that longer term as well, because you've obviously got him. You've got the three of them that you've basically got to choose one of. So this season, in terms of your attacking positions, if you're going to have Salah, which I think, to be honest, you have to, when we get out of August, suddenly you're going to have some really interesting differentials in those big three, because pretty much I would have thought you're going to have a third of teams with each having one. Okay,
so Aguero's looking more and more popular. I looked at some of the TSB stats before I came in. I think he's sort of 13, 14, 15%. I'd expect that to grow, wouldn't you, on the back of today?
That'll grow.
Who else from the City side has caught your eye? Give me your views on, although I think he's more or less going to be in pretty much every draft going forward. Mr. Bernardo Silva, 7.5 in midfield. Pep has come out post-match and said, it's pretty much him and 10 others right now on the team sheet. I'm trying to find a negative here, but there isn't one.
Well, earlier on today, what I was doing when I was sat in the garden was thinking about, as you will know from last season, my strategy with FPL is always to play two up top and then have a better midfield. And actually what I found this season is that I've been tending to go with three up top and then a worse midfield, and it suddenly occurred to me that why am I doing this? Like, I never play the game like this. Why would I be doing this? So I was looking at downgrading Zaha to someone like Hosselu at Newcastle or along those lines anyway, because then that will play me those two strikers that I always do, one on the bench, which then gives me another 2 million that I can spend in my midfield. And I was looking at upgrading then Izzy probably. And the players I was looking at were kind of Mkhitaryan, Pogba and co. But all of a sudden, it's like, well, Pep, you've just gifted me. Yeah. You've just gifted me my choice. Yeah. It's going to be Silva.
And I think I just saw on the live chat, sorry I missed the name, but I think there's like he's in 1.6% TSB right now. So that is surely going to grow too. A word of warning though, we have been here with Pep before. And as Amwinit quite rightly said, Amwinit, thank you for joining this evening. He said, don't trust Pep. We've been here before with the Pep roulette. Yeah. We know what's going to happen. You pick Bernardo Silva, he'll play in the first game against Arsenal, and then he'll be rotated in the second game. So do you still get in, given that it feels quite a small level of investment, doesn't it, 7.5? The other thing to say about the 7.5 is it's very easy to switch to either Sigurdsson or to just dip down a little bit to one of those 6.5s, of which there are plenty to choose from.
Obviously Sigurdsson, which is the same, 7.5. You've got Mkhitaryan at Arsenal at 7. And actually then, so what, in my mind, I'm now thinking, well, okay, I pick Bernardo Silva for game weeks, or the first few game weeks. If come game week 3, he's not playing you anymore, then I'll take a hit, go down to Mkhitaryan, who's going to be playing for Arsenal, in those really nice fixtures that Arsenal have post-game week 4. And
Van Kush is saying Ramsey as well, 7.52, although there's some debate as to where he's going to be, actually, Ramsey.
Or you go up 0.5 and you've got Pogba.
Yes,
Man
yes.
United.
Cater at Liverpool 7.5. So there are options there. There are options.
There's lots of people in that bracket. So if Pep is selling you a wrong one, which, let's be honest, he could, or if he changes his mind, or if Bernardo Silva doesn't play as well as he did today, then sure, there's a lot of other options available, and you're coming into a decent part of the season for a lot of clubs where the fixtures are nice. So I don't see that as a real negative.
Okay, elsewhere in the Man City team, then a lot of you guys in the live chat are talking about Mendy. And I've been on Mendy for some time over the course of this summer, but I've always kind of been treading with caution because I haven't seen this guy really kick a ball for a long time. He was obviously injured a lot last season, didn't play, I was going to say much, but I don't think he played at all in the World Cup as far as I'm aware. So he's kind of won the league, he's become a World Cup winner, he's not kicked a ball in either of those competitions. I think he put out a tweet after the game today saying something like, God, imagine playing 90 minutes to win a trophy or something. So he's obviously, he's the king of social media, isn't he, Mendo? He's a very good follower, actually. But looked very, very good today. Josh is saying Mendy looked good today. Eddie Gooner, glad Mendy played.
And Pep was talking about the importance of Mendy in offering him flexibility in his formations and stuff, wasn't he? And it sounded to me
he's
very much...
He's a key player, I think. Got to be.
Yeah, it sounded very much like Mendy was at the heart of Pep's thinking over the course of the next season. So for me, Mendy is a good pick. I think actually there's a few players in that City defence now who are much more of a risk. So you've got people like Kyle Walker and Mendy, who I think are fairly safe picks in that defence. Obviously, likes of Otamendi, who last season was a real ever present in a lot of teams, didn't play today. If they're going to play 3-5-2, can't see him getting in the team over the course of the season. So
you can't see Otamendi getting in the team. He was, Pep called him his Superman last year, didn't he?
But this is where you're going to have these formation changes with Pep, aren't you? And he's going to move Mendy about, it seems, so that he can get people in and out. But I think what will happen with Otamendi is he will be more of a rotation risk than he was last season.
I certainly can see him playing Laporte a bit more. So he's obviously paid a lot of money for Laporte. I think he's the only, I might be wrong here, guys, I think he's the only left-footed centre-half they've got. So from a balance perspective, does it suit their setup better than playing Stones and Otamendi? Maybe. But he's not going to have bought Laporte for 50, 60 million, whatever it was at the time. Stick him on the bench, is it?
So for me, I'm actually staying out of the Man City back 3 or 4, whatever they're playing, and I'm going to go with Ederson because I feel like that's the safe way into the City defence.
I've noticed you've gone Ederson. Okay, all right. Okay. So talk me through. Actually, let's finish up on City because I know we're spending a lot of time on City, but I feel like after the Community Shield today, I feel like given their fixtures at the beginning of the season, it is worth the time to talk about them. Yeah. I think there's quite a lot of split opinion on Riyad Mahrez's performance today as well for the Community Shield. I actually didn't think he played that bad. I thought his off the ball work was very good. His work rate was good. He was opening up space for. On the first goal, Aguero's first goal, Phil Foden picks it up. I thought Phil Foden played very well today, by the way. Picked the ball up, drove at the back 4, but the reason he drove so far was that Mahrez was pulling, I can't remember the defender, but he was pulling the defender away, and that opened up a bit of, possibly, it might have been Luiz actually, pulled Luiz a bit out of position, and then just created space for Foden and Aguero to do that thing. So, my view is that Mahrez had a pretty good game. It wasn't amazing, don't get me wrong, it wasn't an amazing debut, but he played pretty well. I think he took one direct free kick that hit the wall, so not much to talk about there. But, could be on direct free kicks, looked involved the whole time, was in dangerous positions, seemed to have struck up a bit of an understanding with, how Sergio Aguero moves, etc. Your thoughts on Mahrez? 9.0 in the game, so hefty investment.
For me, it's too much money for what potentially is a rotation risk. Because, realistically, you look at that Community Shield team today, it was minus the likes of Sterling, KDB, who else wasn't there? David Silva, all of those kind of players that were quite key last season. Jesus, so 4 key players from last season who weren't in the starting 11. Now, you would expect that, maybe not straight away, because obviously coming back from a World Cup will have an impact on who's playing early doors. But over the course of the first 3 or 4 game weeks of this season, you would expect to see those players taking their positions back in the City team. And you can't imagine that players like KDB and Sterling, the way they played last season, aren't going to be in the team.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
So who's dropping out? Now, obviously Phil Foden played today, and I wouldn't expect to see him every week.
What a cracking little player he looks, by the way.
But he did play fantastic
very
today.
Good,
and I would imagine we'll see him a lot in cup games and such like this season. But I just think with Mahrez, there is that element of rotation risk, because there's him, there's Sané. Are they competing for a place? Really?
I think Mahrez is a real pet player, though, don't you?
He is,
on his day, he's a real pet player.
But look, we've said this time and time again with them. I think what we need to see. Pep is very good at kind of, when somebody starts to they get a run, don't they, in the team? They don't seem to do. He's not too. It's not in and out all the time. I think we'll see that with David Silva this season. He'll be in and out a lot.
Well, he came out and said a few weeks back he's managing his minutes, didn't he? Which is a bit of a shame, because at 8.5 he's actually a nice route into that City midfield, and he was in my team up until today when Bernardo Silva played and he didn't. So I've done the switch. And Pep's comments after the game have kind of solidified my thought about getting Bernardo Silva. But up until today, I was all over David Silva.
So for me, I guess to answer your question about Mahrez, I don't think Mahrez is a bad pick by any stretch. I just think for that money, for that price tag, you can have people that are pivotal in their teams.
Okay. So Zach's Life is saying Mahrez is short term. Okay. Nuclear Arrow is saying, is Mahrez plus $1 million in the bank the best way to hold on for a KDB return? So I kind of like that, having a bit of money. If you're going to go KDB, if you're set on KDB, go Mahrez in the short term with a bit in the bank to go up to him. It's not a bad strategy. I kind of like that. Last couple of points on Man City. Sané played the first half. I think after about 10 or so minutes, I noticed that he was kind of, that little skip you do when you're injured. You're just trying to shake it off. I saw him doing that, and I just thought, oh God, he's injured. And he sort of played okay, I think, first half. Pep's obviously seen that and gone, right, well, you need to come off. It looks largely precautionary. I don't think we're going to see any, big boots or anything strapped to his feet. But does that now make Sané far less likely then to be in your game week 1 team? I guess it does, because you're kind of unsure as to whether he's going to start. And there's so many other nice options there in that City midfield, not least Bernardo Silva for $2 million less.
I think so.
No one's going to go Sané now, are they? Surely.
I'm not.
Okay. Azzy is saying, Mahrez appeals to me more than Silva. Okay, interesting. Be interesting to see why, Azzy. Mahrez appeals to me more than Sané. Okay, so I can see that. I can definitely see that. Let's talk then about...
Should we talk about Chelsea? Because we've spent the whole time talking about Man City.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
Have a quick word on Chelsea, because I think Chelsea are really interesting at the moment. I didn't think they played particularly well today.
You didn't think they played particularly well?
No.
I thought they were flipping awful today. But go on.
Being nice.
Yeah, go on.
I didn't think they played particularly well today. I thought that Morata was useless.
Do you know what? And it's something that
sorry, Chelsea fans,
I've noticed about Morata. His running off the ball is actually not bad. His movement off the ball, if you watch him when he's not got the ball, he's actually all right. He does put a bit of a shift in, but he's just I think he's really lacking confidence. And also the way that they couldn't move the ball quickly enough through midfield. Whenever Jorginho got it, and whenever Fabregas got on the ball, City just hunted them down.
I think for me, historically, Chelsea have always played with fast wing backs, and that has always worked really well for them. Today, I just looked at Alonso and Azpilicueta and was kind of thinking,
they certainly weren't getting forward as much as they were before.
What's the point in the cost of them in your fantasy team? I mean, I took Alonso out a long time ago. As soon as they talked about the change in the Chelsea formation, I was like, well, Alonso's gone then. But a lot of people I know still got Azpilicueta in their teams, and on the basis of what I've seen today, I don't think that that's money well spent. So
Shashank is saying that Azpilicueta is still the best Chelsea option out there. I mean, I'd
like
to know why you think that, Shashank. And again, I saw... So Leo, thank you for joining us tonight. He said, David Luiz is a decent option, otherwise stay away for me. Do you think David Luiz is a good option? What do you think of his performance today?
Leo, I don't...
So Leo's a Chelsea fan, he would know.
I don't think that there is a good Chelsea option at the moment. And I don't mean that in a nasty way. I just don't think Chelsea know how they're best playing yet. I think Sarri? Yeah. I think he knows what he wants to do. I just don't think that as a team, they know what they're doing quite yet. I don't think they've worked it out. Now, they've got another game to play midweek, which, again, baffles me to have another fixture so late.
Seems odd that, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it's Wednesday night.
Yeah.
So we'll see again on whether we get a better Chelsea on Wednesday evening.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I don't think that there's any real pull for me for a Chelsea player, and I really looked for it today. I was really looking for a Chelsea player that would just kind of stand out as an obvious fantasy pick, because I think Chelsea could be good, but I just don't know who would get you there.
Okay. So another super chat. Robert, thank you for the super chat. Very, very kind of you to donate that to the channel. Just to finish up on Chelsea, so I think what the guys were saying and what Leo may be saying is that if you are going to invest in Chelsea defence, then Luiz is a better option than the other 265s.
Oh, okay.
He's better than Alonso and Aspi.
So yes, I agree with you from that point of view. Yes.
But surely that just says to me, well, I'm looking to scrimp and save on a Chelsea defence. It's me saying I don't really want to go all in on Chelsea defence.
Well, I think for me, over last few seasons, I've always had Alonso on the basis that I was getting a Chelsea defender. There was a chance of a clean sheet there, but also there was a good chance of attacking returns from them. What I've seen from Chelsea today is that there's no chance really of attacking returns from their back four or back three, and that they're not likely to keep a clean sheet, so I don't want to invest.
Okay, we definitely need to see more of them. And by the way, both teams, and when we sat here and talked about how a lot of the City superstars were in the stands, well, a lot of Chelsea ones were too, right? I mean, when Kante comes back,
Hazard
clearly going to make a bit of a difference. As will Hazard, as will Courtois. Willian, I think, came on second half, so they had a lot of superstars in the stands as well.
Definitely,
right?
absolutely.
So there's we can't.
That's why
can't completely write Chelsea off, can you? I mean, goodness me.
And maybe that's why Wednesday is a more useful point from an FPL point of view in terms of what we're looking at with Chelsea.
Absolutely. So we've had a couple of other new joiners. So Tom Sheehan, thank you for joining. Shuvik is here, and I think I saw El Stato sneaking in the back door as well. El Stato, thank you for joining, sir. Where else do you want to talk about? Talk to me through your thinking from the last sort of couple of weeks. So since we last live streamed, who's gone in your team, who's gone out your team? We've covered City, probably to death actually. We've covered Chelsea a little bit too.
Yeah.
I can't see much of either in your side right now, although you have got Edison and Aguero, to be fair. Yeah. So talk to me about your team and how it's evolved over the last couple of weeks. By the way, Salah's going to be your captain, right?
Oh,
I know it's from Firmino, but
I haven't thought about captains or anything yet, but it will be Salah.
Okay,
yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it will be.
It just looks wrong. Every draft I've seen has got Salah captain. It just looks a bit weird.
Well, no, it's because as you you probably don't actually, because I squirrel it away from you these days. All of my thinking FPL wise really has been happening in my book. It's not been happening on my team yet. So there's a lot of kind of changes still to go. I think I'm fairly set with quite a few of them. Okay. Edison will be staying. Hence why I've got Speroni, just because I can't see the point of spending any money on a second keeper.
You've gone set and forget there, haven't you? Rather than the kind of rotation pair.
Just don't see the point. If I'm going to pay for a premium keeper, I might as well just have the premium keeper.
So the one to look out for there. I mean, Speroni. I don't think he's first choice at Paris.
No, he's not.
I'm pretty sure he's not. The one to look out for is Stekelenburg at Everton. So if Pickford does decide to go, then Stekelenburg has, I think, just signed another 1 year contract extension at Everton.
Yeah, I saw that.
So at 4.0, if Pickford goes, I think is first choice. So I would keep your eye on that one.
I'll keep my eye on that. Morrison, I'm happy with. He's going to stay. Patrick Van Arnhout, I'm fairly set that I'm going to have him this season. I've just I've developed a bit of a love affair with him at the moment, so he's going to stay. I'm going Robertson for the start of the season.
I like Robertson. I do like Robertson, but just a very quick word, because we covered this on previous streams.
You're going to say why Trent?
Why not Trent?
Because longer term, I am going to swap him for Trippier. So straight swap then.
You're going to be getting off the Liverpool defence. So what if we have 3 straight clean sheets?
Well, I didn't say when, did I?
You've gone all World Cup crazy with your love of Trippier, haven't you? Although he had a very, very World Cup, very, very good World Cup, didn't he?
As you well know, my heart is silently breaking. And so Trippier is going to be my replacement love affair at Spurs. So yes, Trippier will be going in at some stage.
So the guys will not know about your love affair with Toby Alderweireld. So talk to me about Toby Alderweireld very briefly. Looks, guys, as if he's going to go to Manchester United.
Yeah, but they both have Maguire as well, aren't they? So.
Well, I saw this, so I don't know whether they're going to get both or whether there's a preference. They can have Maguire, and that's the end of it.
You can have Maguire and leave Toby alone.
So Toby's not kicked a ball for a year. Why do you think he's so good?
I love him.
He's just a nice-looking man.
No, it's not. It's not looks at all. It's
right.
It's purely based upon. he's one of those players that I was there when he got injured as well, wasn't I? I was in that Real Madrid game. But I just think he's one of those players that when he's playing for the team, he gives absolutely 100% everything to it, and he's really committed to the side. And I know, I get that at the moment he's not, and there's been some issues, and I'm actually, I'm not one of these people that wants him to stay. If he wants to go with, you know, my best wishes.
Yeah, sure.
I don't get this. Sell him to our rivals.
Okay. Karthik is saying that United are going for both. Toby first, then Maguire probably. I don't know about this, you know. And Neil Creston, good point. You know, United not having a good pre-season. You're absolutely right. I'm not sure I like the feel of these transfers from a United perspective. If I was a United fan, I don't know how I would feel. And there's plenty of United fans, I'm sure, in the 157 people that are watching. Tell us, United fans, how you feel this pre-season has gone. I'd be worried if I was a United fan. The things that Mourinho's saying, the sort of transfer targets that they're coming out and looking at are not... They just seem a bit obvious, don't they? I mean, it's a bit like... feels a bit desperate.
And there's a lot of whisperings about their players, aren't there, as well? Like, you know, today I saw another link of Pogba to Barcelona, 18 million or something ridiculous. Martial...
Pogba's not going to go, is he?
Well, I don't know, because
Martial could absolutely
keeps coming back up. And it's one of those things that when you get these stupid ones, like the other week when Kane was going to go to United, you know it's ridiculous because it comes up once and it's the papers have got nothing to talk about, so it kind of comes up and then it goes and it's nothing. Whereas this Pogba leaving thing comes and it goes and it comes back again. And
Talk to me about the defenders. So Alderweireld and
Harry Maguire.
And Maguire.
I don't think Leicester can afford to lose Harry Maguire, and I don't think Leicester want to. I think they've been quite firm in their stance.
But where did this come from? When have United ever been linked with Harry Maguire? Suddenly, as a good World Cup, we'll pay 60 million for him.
Because I don't know. I think that they don't look. I don't think that they particularly like doing business with Levy. I don't think anybody particularly likes doing business with Levy
because he's a hard negotiator.
He absolutely is, and if he wants, he'll let Toby go if it's at the right price. And I think that's basically what Spurs have agreed, is that he can go as long as the price is right. I think what Man United are potentially trying to do here is just niggle us a little bit, because nobody else is in for Toby.
Okay, so Karthik is saying Leicester could be tempted by a world record fee. I tell you, they'll be more than tempted by a world record fee. No doubt about it. Titus is saying Mourinho's third season syndrome. We've discussed this before. And I think absolutely right.
If I was Toby or Harry Maguire, would I want to go... Like, I don't mean this negatively towards United, but would I want to go and play for Mourinho right now?
Well, potentially, yeah. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Leo is saying Bailey injured, and Karim just above that is saying Bailly off injured. So United are playing right now.
Even more trouble now.
They're playing right now against Bayern Munich, so that could be. Yeah. We've got Sky Sports News on, guys. If we look to the right, that's why we're doing that. Can't see anything on there at the moment about Bailly, but then it could just be a small innocuous knock or something, right? So yeah, Karthik is saying Toby's almost done. Listen, it looks as if they are very much in for both. Are they going to get both? I don't know.
I don't think they want both.
Probably going to get one.
I think they're in for Toby really, and then they're in for Maguire if Toby for some reason doesn't happen.
Okay. All right. I'm not sure how we got off on that Man United tangent, but talk to me through the rest of the team.
Oh, because I started talking about Trippier, didn't I?
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, and then Charlie Daniels. So Charlie Daniels, I'm going to have for the first 3 games because. Their new player, Rico, is suspended for the first 3 matches of the season.
Okay.
He's not able to play till game week 4, so that means Charlie Daniels will play for game weeks 1, 2 and 3.
Is it not just a transfer waiting to happen, though?
Yes, but as we all know from my strategy, and I've been quite honest.
Okay, very good.
I'll be playing my wild card after game week 4, which is international break. So yes, he is a transfer waiting to happen, but I don't care because I'm playing a wild card anyway.
So you'll be fine. Okay,
so that's
very
fine.
Good.
Ericsson absolutely set in my team. He's going nowhere. Salah. Again, same thing. Kearney, I'm definitely going to have Kearney. I feel really comfortable with him at the moment.
I like the look of him, yeah, absolutely.
Firmino and Aguero, they're solid. My issues and my thinking at the moment is on Gunnarsson, Izquierdo, Zaha and Bennett. Those are the 4 that I'm still kind of tinkering with. Like
Has Bennett played much pre-season? 4.0.
Has, but didn't play the last game pre-season. So
it's a bit of a concern potentially.
It's a little bit of a risk, but then I could just do Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah.
And then that's fine. Like, I don't really want 2 Palace defenders, but he's going to sit on my bench anyway, so it
Well,
doesn't
what
matter.
about your man at Southampton?
There's
Bednarak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's him as well, and there's also Malone at Huddersfield.
Okay.
So there's 3 others that are potential. So I've got to have a look at them in more detail. Zaha, I really like the idea of Zaha in my team, but to be honest, the cost of him puts me off because longer term I want Kane, so I want 2 premiums and then a cheapie to enable my midfield to be a bit better. So I think Zaha's going to drop down to probably Joselu, unless the wonderful rumours.
So who?
Joselu, yeah.
Why do you want Joselu?
Well, because it's somebody who's going to play but will sit on the bench.
I know what you're going to say now, though.
Unless the wonderful rumours are true, and Rondon is coming back, and then
you're surely not considering getting the big Venezuelan in, are you? Depending on what his price is, I suppose.
If Rondon's going to come in, if Joselu's 5, Rondon's going to be about there or abouts.
No, he's not. Rondon's going to be about 6'5", isn't he? He's going to compete with Charlie Austin and people like that.
No, he won't.
He is.
He's going to come in at 4.5. And no, if Rondon comes back, I have to have Rondon, don't I?
Okay, all right. Okay, well,
so,
listen.
Yeah, but that's what I'm thinking.
So listen, the team is coming along very nicely.
We're getting there,
very
yeah,
nicely, yeah.
there.
Let's have a quick scoot through my team. So you'll see, and guys, again, work in progress. But I'm kind of going pretty heavy on Liverpool and City, and I put a tweet out there earlier
that's
to
quite
say
standard, isn't it?
I think it is. For me, I mean, the City assets after today, they kind of take care of themselves, in my opinion. Bernardo Silva, 100% in for me, not even a question. Aguero, yes, I probably got to put my hands up there and say, I've been off him all summer and been on a Aubameyang all summer. But on the back of today, he just looks... I didn't think he was gonna, but he just looks ready for the season, in my opinion. And Pep's already come out and said that it's potentially a 3-5-2, so it's kind of like, well, is he one of those 2? Well, yeah, 9 times out of 10. He's on pens, the fixtures look amazing. Even if, between that game week 2 and 7, where they play the 3 promoted sides and last season's 3 promoted sides, game week 2 to 7, guys, check that out on City's fixtures. Even if he gets rotated in 1 or 2 of those games, he could bang hat-tricks in 1 or 2 of those games as well. He could easily just... And he's a great captain choice when Salah's not got a great fixture. So
when's that? Salah's got a great fixture every week, even if
you're
he's playing
absolutely
City,
right.
You're
absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So for me, I'm going those 3 City, and I think they're pretty much locked in. I wanted to see how Mendy was going to do today, see if he had a full 90 minutes in his legs. He absolutely did. I know he didn't get any assists or anything today, but he looked a menace down that side, didn't he?
Oh yeah, I agree. I totally agree with you. Totally agree. I think 3 Liverpool and 3 City is probably the way to go, particularly for early season. Yeah.
Okay, Vinyl Richie. Richard, thank you for joining this evening. He's saying, haha, more or less the same team as me, Lee. Need to go and have a tinker. So he's thinking, don't get aligned to what Lee's thinking because you don't want to be top 200k. You want to be in the top 10k. Richard, long-time viewer of FPLFamily, knows exactly how this works.
I think I think Lee will beat me this season. I think not necessarily.
All right, Jose, in your mind games. It's already started,
I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing to align with Lee this season.
Wow, the mind game's already started, guys. What do you say about that? So I'm going to go with those three City. I also think, and you guys tell me, I'm a red goggles on here. I'm going 3 Liverpool. I'm going Salah, Mane and Robertson. Of those 3, Salah and Robertson nailed on, have been all summer, not moving. Unless I can be tempted by Trent because I need a million somewhere, but at the moment I don't, so I'm going Robertson. Mane is the one that could become an Eriksen, could become a Mahrez, could become a somebody else. But
you don't fancy Firmino?
I absolutely do. I think he could be very, very good, but I fancy Salah and Mane more. I think if you look at the way that we played last season, Firmino was all about he was the workhorse that kind of provided the space for the 2 wide players, Salah and Mane, and they profited from that. Now, if you add Keita into the mix, who is like king of the through ball, I mean, I've watched this guy a couple of times. I've watched some YouTube videos of him when he was at RB Leipzig. He is the through ball.
Okay, let's
king,
talk about him
right?
for a minute. Is he a fantasy asset though?
No, but the point I'm going to make... Well, it could be. I mean, he's 7'5", so he's not exactly super expensive. And he's going to be playing in that... He's going to have Fabinho behind him, so he's going to have license to go forward.
Yeah.
But the point I was going to make is that he is very, very good at picking it up, driving it forward, and doing through balls in the same way that kind of Phil Foden played today in that first Aguero goal.
So with Keita, will he be assisting the assist from a fantasy point
of view? Yeah, maybe. But he's 7'5", right?
Yeah,
so you kind of put your expectations at a 7'5" mid.
Yeah, sure.
But what I will say is that with Firmino creating the space and putting the defenders around and potentially dropping a bit deeper, Keita maybe bombing on past him and putting through balls through to Salah and Mane, I can see those guys running right again. And Mane in particular has been on penalties for Liverpool pre-season. So I think Mane could easily match what he did last year, if not surpass it. So I've been watching the YouTube videos, obviously been following my team Liverpool a lot in pre-season. The camp looks very, very happy. The guys look really happy to be playing.
And I must admit, he's been really funny, hasn't he, Klopp, in pre-season? Did you see his interview? Was it yesterday? And they asked him if he's going to make any more signings, and he was like, "I'm not telling you. Don't want to ruin deadline day."
Yeah, so he's in good spirits,
jolly,
right?
Isn't it?
He's got
it's
the
really
of course he
happy.
is. He's got the players. He's just signed the world's most expensive goalkeeper, so he's obviously going to be happy.
This takes you back to what we were just saying about United. You look at the differences between those two camps, and everything that comes out of Liverpool is positive. All of the messages that are coming, and I'm neutral in this, right?
Yeah.
But everything coming from United, it's just like.
Yeah. But so LSD Bear is saying Keita absolutely could be a fancy asset. So
okay.
I absolutely think he's one to look out for. Amwonit is saying Keita 26 goal involvement in the last 2 seasons. Absolutely right. Absolutely. Josh Telling, why not go Keita? If we're all jumping on the Bilva train, why not the Keita train? I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, 7.5. I just want to see how he fits into the team. From what I've seen so far right now, looks really good. Do I think he's going to outscore Salah and Mane? No.
I think
for sure.
So, in which case then there is a definite marker, isn't there, for saying, right, well, let's go with either Mane or Firmino or whoever, one of those slightly more expensive players, and then if Keita starts in the way that you're suggesting he might, then you've got the drop down available to you, which
this is the Bilva card that we said before, right? You go Bernardo Silva because of what Pep said, and then if what Ammonit was saying earlier comes true, and actually you can't trust Pep, and he does start rotating him, then it is an easy move to someone like whoever it is, and by then we will know whether Keita's an FPL asset or not.
And there will be a lot of teams in here that will pick the World Cup players who don't start for a few weeks, and so they'll all start getting off of them, and those prices will start reducing because of that. So you might see the likes of Kane that you get for 12.3 rather than 12.5.
Okay. Josh 96 is saying Keita will be hogging the baps, tackles, passes, dribbles, assists, the odd goal. Okay. He does seem to have it all, actually. I'm very, very excited about this guy joining our club, by the way. Very excited. Yes, we needed to sign a new goalkeeper, 100%. He's actually gone and done that. But
Good clean sheet, didn't he?
It looked very good. Yeah, it looked pretty good against Napoli, yeah. But actually, Keita looks like the guy that's going to be unlocking defences left, right and centre. All-action midfielder. Very excited about what he might do for Liverpool this season.
Oh, he's another one I've got to think about now.
So he's the guy I think that's going to be providing for Salah and Mane, as well as Firmino, and as well as, the front three and their dynamism, etc. So I'm all out. I'm all out Liverpool and Man City right now. Now, guys, this might change, of course, but right now, those 6 look real good to me. And I do think that those 2 teams are going to be the ones that are going to be battling it out for the Premier League.
I think the problem with Liverpool is actually I'd quite like 4.
Yeah, it should be a chip, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Extra slot chip or Liverpool chip.
Or just play Liverpool.
Just play Liverpool.
I
like your thinking. So I'm gone with those 6. To complement those 6, I really like the look of Arnautovic and how he's got on in pre-season. Now, in the last game they played, can't remember the opposition, but actually Chicharito started up top. And actually, Arnautovic was pulled back into more of his what you would say is his natural position, I guess.
And the same thing with Zaha and Benteke.
Yes, absolutely. So Benteke's come in and ruined everyone's plans because not only is Zaha now pushed back into midfield, but Sorloth becomes less of an option, I guess.
Definitely.
Because he's going to be playing Benteke. However, with Arnautovic, I think the pre-season form looks good. Now, I'm not fixed on Arnautovic. Could easily become Tosun. But Tosun hasn't looked great pre-season.
Rondon?
Could easily become Zaha. He's not going to become Rondon. I don't think. Maybe.
I have a rush of blood to the head. The season with Rondon. I love it.
But listen, I like Arnautovic right now. However, as one of 2 of you guys, I think the Daily Llama's pointed out, the fixtures are not great.
No, they're not.
They're not great. So you do need to have a look at that without a shadow of a doubt.
Liverpool, Bournemouth, Arsenal, Wolves to start.
And when it's saying Mitrovic, yeah, absolutely. Azzy is saying Josh King. Now, we probably haven't got time to go into Josh King in too much detail, but hasn't he looked good over the last few weeks in pre-season?
Yeah.
And as we know, dare I say, tried and tested FPL.
That's just Josh King.
6'5", I think. 6'5". So he's in that Austin bracket, and indeed Austin is another one that perhaps we should be looking at.
Don't trust Austin.
Why? Has he burnt you before?
No, because it's like Southampton. You never know what you're going to get with them.
They do look a little bit hit and miss in pre-season so far, to say the least.
Because of that, you just don't know what you're going to get with Austin.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
It's like you and Callum Wilson.
Oh, don't go there again. I'm not. Oh, I just got that out of my head, and you put it back at the front of my head. Oh, Callum Wilson.
I'm surprised not to see him in your team, because we're going to have Wilson watch this season, aren't we?
Well, I think we are going to have Wilson watch. Yeah. So Arnautovic, he's there right now. That could change. Kamara is a little bit of a filler, but I actually noticed that he's got a bit of game time actually in pre-season, and has bagged a couple actually.
Yeah, but
so
they have just signed. They've just signed.
Mitrovic is there, right? So Kamara is going to be limited, but at 4 or 5 or whatever he is. If I've got a spare $500,000 knocking about, I could go Sorloth, but then is he any? I don't know if he's any better, given that Benteke's around. So and then the rest of the team is kind of, it's kind of filler. I mean, Richarlison, he actually could be one of about 4 or 5 different players right now, actually. I mean, I do like him. I think he's gone to Everton for a reason. I think Silva likes him, etc., etc. Everything that we mentioned on season preview 2.0 2 weeks ago. However, Everton as a team do not look that great right now. Pre-season form, apart from the 22-0 win against the Norwegian slipper makers, they are not looking that great.
No, they're not.
However, in those games, Richarlison hasn't looked too bad. So right now he's there. That could easily be Jota. It could easily be... Who else is 6'5" in that bracket?
Is he 6?
Yeah, but there's others, isn't there? 6'5" that are really, really good. Pedro and people like that, right? So there's lots of options in there.
Fancy Pedro.
And then at the back, I'm a little bit scrimping a little bit right now. I'm scrimping a little bit because I've gone Wan-Bissaka, I've gone Bednarak.
Yeah, but you got Mendy and Robertson.
So it feels a little bit lopsided. As my 4.5 option, I've gone Tompkins right now because I do like Tompkins' goal threat for Palace, and I don't mind Palace's fixtures. I also think the Palace defence is going to be pretty popular because of PVA, so I do want to cover those clean sheets if I can. Obviously, I could do that with Wan-Bissaka, but I do like Tompkins. He obviously could change, but right now he's my 4.5 of choice. And the goalkeepers, at the minute, I'm on these two guys, Patricio and Fabianski. I need to put some thought into that. I need to find a pair that really rotates and
I'm not sure about
works.
that.
Right? Yeah, I need to put a bit of work into that.
Where's Foster?
Well, Foster and Fabianski actually do rotate pretty nicely for, I think, 9 out of the first 10 game weeks. So they could actually be my pairing. But I just don't fancy Watford at all.
Don't say that. Is Joe here?
Well, I haven't seen Joe yet.
You can say it then. If Joe's not in, then it's all right.
But I'm not massive on Foster, but I do think Patricio is a very, very good goalkeeper. And I do expect Wolves to have an half-decent season. So at 4.5, save points, etc., etc., I think he's a very, very good goalkeeper. So, on that basis, I've got him right now.
Okay.
But Shuvik, quite rightly, is saying Fab and Forster rotate. Well, hopefully you mean Foster and not Forster. I don't know, because Forster seems a bit out of favour at Southampton right now. But tell us if we've got that right, Shuvik. Notorious Nerd is saying set and forget Edison and Lloris. That's a heavy investment in goalkeepers if you're going Edison and Lloris. But the set and forget, I guess what he means actually is set and forget Edison or Lloris, and then a 4.0, like a Stekelenburg or a Speroni.
Or De Gea, he's the same.
Or a set and forget De Gea. Yeah, absolutely. So that's the
Although
team.
I don't necessarily think I'd go Lloris now because I'm not sure he's going to start the opening game. So just be careful of that.
Because he was back late from the World Cup.
Only back today.
Yeah, Vorm has played most of your pre-season stuff.
Played all pre-season.
Yeah, okay.
Lloris has only come back today, so be careful of Lloris. I would just be careful.
Okay, all right, okay. So that's my team right now. Who have we not talked about? Kearney maybe, but we discussed that on your team. I think he's good. Had license to get forward last year. Seri's there now, so he's going to have even more license to get forward. Yeah. Good as a 5.0.
Yeah.
But that segues nicely into the polls. I want to talk about. We talked about one of the polls is ultra cheapy, or should we call them value? Ultra high value defenders. Let me just make sure I've got that right. Or did we just talk about... No, we talked about best non-top 6 defence, didn't we? So here we go. So best ultra-budget midfielder. So
I tell you what, I did have another one that I should have said to you when you were doing that.
Go on. Who is it?
Because I'm actually giving some thought to Aaron Lennon this season.
Aaron Lennon. Talk me through that one. That is a curveball to end all curveballs.
Somebody DM'd me, and I'm sorry, I can't remember who it was. Somebody DM'd me the other week and said, what do you think about Aaron Lennon? Burnley. And I was like, nah, won't play. Then I thought, hang on a minute, will play. Played in Europa League, played well in the Europa League as well.
Yeah.
And actually, when you look back at last season, why didn't he play? Well, because he had huge mental health issues, and is now in a place where improve. Everything's back
How much
to
is he in the
normal.
game?
5.
5.0. Aaron Lennon. Got
And
some pedigree there, isn't he?
Yeah, last
Attacking.
season, he only played 13 times, got a couple of assists, and you think, actually, there is history there with him. For 5 million,
so let's just have a quick look at the Fantasy Football Scout website and do the fixtures, because I've got a feeling Burnley's are...
Southampton, Watford, Fulham, United.
Not too bad. Yeah, it's not too bad, is it? Southampton, Watford,
I just
Fulham...
think he's cheeky punt. Could be my jammy pick, maybe. But
jammy pick, game week 1, Aaron Lennon. There we go, I like it.
The more I think about it, the more I think it makes absolute sense.
All right. Josh96 is saying, Lennon, don't fancy Burnley in terms of chances created. Okay.
We'll see.
Spencer saying, Spencer Lee, thank you for joining, Spencer. He's saying, stay away from Burnley while they're in qualifying and in the Europa League.
Well, they've qualified now.
I think they're through now.
So
they got past the Aberdeen thing, haven't they? Now they've got to go.
So now it's not until a bit later, isn't it? Though?
Yeah.
They've got a while now.
Isn't there a school of thought though that says if they're playing those qualification Europa League games, they're kind of fit and firing and maybe a bit more ready to hit the ground running in the Premier League? I don't know. Maybe that's the school of thought. I don't know.
Particularly as they're not hit by the World Cup stuff because they've been back a little bit longer. So
yes. Okay. All right. So Burnley's fixtures do look not too bad.
I don't know why I've just thought of this, but I should have told you it before.
We've not got him in the polls, but perhaps we should have. So let's have a look at these polls. So best ultra budget midfielder, guys. You guys are saying Kenny. Yeah, Kenny is the standout winner there at 51%.
I agree with that.
Neves is second, but not really a close second. He's coming in at 21% on penalties, and clearly Wolves' best player Neves. Callum Hudson-Odoi actually is third at 4.5. So
it's just quite short term, that one, I think.
I think it is. I mean, given that, and I tweeted about this earlier, I still think Real Madrid have got a big transfer in them. I don't think Perez and the fans are going to be allowed to go a whole summer, a summer in which they sold Cristiano Ronaldo and not sign a big player. And I think that big player is Hazard.
Oh.
Or Harry Kane.
Oh, for goodness sake, Harry Kane. Dear, oh dear.
He's on the list.
Take out my glasses off.
He's on the list.
Well, he can be on the list all they like.
So's Mo Salah, by the way. So.
Well, yeah, more likely.
I think they've basically just gone, who's the best 5 players in the world? Let's put them on the list. Hazard's absolutely there. So, I don't know. I think there's...
And Hazard's a bit more unsettled, I think, than the other two.
Yeah, and players can leave English clubs and go to foreign clubs before the end of, or should I say, after the transfer window closes on Thursday. So
what?
Yeah. So the transfer window closes for players coming into the Premier League on Thursday. Players can still leave the Premier League up until August the 31st. So if Real Madrid want to sign Hazard from Chelsea, they've got until the end of August to do it.
I thought that we all were closing on the same day this time around.
Players can still go out to the end of August.
Well, that's.
But what's interesting there is that if say Hazard does go to Real Madrid in say the third week in August, they can't.
Why did we agree to this?
It's Brexit, isn't it?
It's not Brexit.
So what else are we saying? Kennedy 7%, Jorginho 5%. So actually Kenny the standout winner. Now Bernardo Silva. I'm actually surprised at this, guys. I'm surprised at this. Bernardo Silva in or out? In 62%.
I'm surprised it's not 37%.
I thought it might be a bit higher, guys, but at least or over a third of you are still saying
they're obviously in the Antoinette.
Okay.
Don't trust Pep camp.
Well, maybe, maybe. Still a rotation race, and will be, right? But I think Pep's comments for me, he's in. I think he's in. Best non-top 6 defence. Palace, the clear winners there, by the way. The clear winners, 65%. So the Wan-Bissakas are going to be popular. The Tompkins, the PVA is all going to be pretty popular.
I think they're going to be a bit like the Burnley defender of last season. You have to have one to cover it.
Yeah, and Roy Hodgson is he's kind of known for that. That's what he does. He shores teams up, and he when he came in last season, he did do a pretty good job of that. So I can see why Palace at 65%, Everton 20%. I'm actually not convinced. I'm not convinced about Everton at all. By the way, this season. I mean, the way that Silva...
Hang on a minute. Let's rewind to season 1.
Oh man.
Season 2, episode 1.
I knew you were going to say this.
Get Everton.
I knew you were going to say this.
And I said, whoa. Don't get Everton. What are you talking about? And now what are you saying?
I'm actually not sure I said get Everton.
Are you saying I was right?
Oh no, I'd never say that. I would never ever say that. But what I will say is that on that last live stream, or maybe the one before, I said you were wrong to not be looking at Everton. Is what I said.
So are you saying that I'm now right?
No, I'm saying I was incorrect. I'm definitely not saying you were right. I'm never going there because that is just a hole you never dig yourself out of. But Everton defence right now, from what I've seen in pre-season, do not look good. They've done a good thing by ditching Ashley Williams. So he is He is long gone, and he's absolutely terrible. But they've brought in this guy, Lucas Digne, I think you pronounce him.
Yeah, he looks quite good.
I think predominantly to replace Baines at left back. But I think I read somewhere that he can play centre half, although his preferred position is left back. I cannot believe they've brought in a guy that predominantly plays left back to play centre half. It just can't be right. So who have they got as centre half? Jagielka, Keane. A big season for Keane. Really big season for Michael Keane this season. And they've got Funes Mori as well. So they've got options. But I just think Jagielka, if he's a first choice centre half, you're in trouble, aren't you? The two either side are obviously good. The Coleman and the Baines of this world bombing on.
Well,
but Silva's philosophy is going to be to attack. So do you want to invest in Everton defence?
Well, if they lose Pickford, I think Everton defence just falls apart.
That's going to be even more of an issue, yeah, because then they've got, Stekelenburg is an alright keeper, but it's just all right.
Pickford.
It's just alright, isn't he? Southampton 9%. Wolves 3%, Leicester 1%. So guys,
you don't trust Leicester.
Best non-top 6 defence, Leicester way down there 1%.
Particularly if they lose Harry Maguire, then I guess.
Well, absolutely, yeah. Palace runaway leaders though, 65%. Everton 20%. Cool. All right. And actually, fair point. So Joe Finley Badder, Joe is here. So Joe, thank you for joining. And Aid is also saying that Yerry Mina is more or less to Everton done. Yerry Mina to Everton is done. So that is. What do you think of that? Yerry Mina, I think he's an all right defender from what I saw at the World Cup. But what's the money, guys? Some of you guys are saying 30 odd million, 40 million.
Is this one of these World Cup?
Is he worth that sort of money? I don't know.
And
when it Mina to Everton, done deal. Lock on Kun. Mina is terrible. Well, yeah. I don't know. I'm not massive. Oh, there goes your pen.
I've dropped my pen.
There goes your pen. I'll get it. Don't
worry.
Right,
I don't need
I got
it. I don't need it. Okay, thanks.
So Yerry Mina to Everton looks as if it's done. So they've got more options there. Does that make them a better FPL choice at the back? I don't know. I'm not convinced. Right. I think we are more or less there. So that is the season previews done, guys, for the season. So that is season preview 3.0 finished. The next time we will be coming to, it will be a game week 1 preview. We will be back into full-on FPL family mode. We'll be talking about fixtures. We'll be talking about who our captains are going to be. We'll be talking about top points picks. We'll be talking about jammy picks.
Are we having a radar this season?
Doing all that stuff. Radar was kind of what we did before we did the live streams, wasn't it? Because we could faff about the graphics. But you could have like a Sam's watch list or something. Now that we are all slick and multi-screen, I could come up with like a radar if you wanted to do something like that.
I might have a little think about it.
Okay.
Might not call it the radar. I feel like the radar died a bit. We stopped doing it.
When we did the live streams, it did sort of die a little bit, didn't it?
So I have to think of another way of, Sam's shortlist or something.
Sam's shortlist. I like the sound of that.
So
guys, get onto Twitter, get onto Instagram. Tell us what you think of Sam's shortlist.
No, that's rubbish.
Needs a better name.
But I'll think of something.
It needs better. Right. So Josh is saying, can't wait for the next stream, then roll on Friday. Josh, I'm with you, mate. Absolutely. Thank you for joining us, Josh, as ever. And thank you to all of you guys that tuned in. We topped out at something like 170 something watching there, Sam. 174, I think was the number.
I'm glad you didn't tell me that when it happened.
Would you have got all nervous and like sweaty? Yeah,
probably.
Yeah. Still hot here, isn't it? It's still hot in the UK. There's no doubt about it. So we topped out something like 174 watching, guys. So thank you for sticking with us. If you haven't already liked the video, so hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed already, go and hit that sub button. We would love for you to join us again next Wednesday. I think we're going to do it. Tuesday/Wednesday.
Well, the thing is with
Tuesday night, we're out. Anniversary night, isn't it, dear?
We're out all day Tuesday for anniversary fun.
Yeah.
Wednesday, I've got to bake somebody a birthday cake.
You absolutely do, yeah.
So I think it's going to have to be birthday night. It will have to be transfer deadline day.
Not only have you got to bake me a cake, as our daughter has quite rightly pointed out that my favourite Disney character is Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. So you've got to bake a Lilo and Stitch cake Wednesday night. As well as the FPLFamily.
You never requested Lilo, you just said Stitch. I've not planned for Lilo, I've got Stitch.
You've just got blue icing, that's it, nothing else.
And some pink for his ears. So I think it's going to have to be Thursday. I have to be a post-birthday.
My birthday night, transfer deadline day.
We'll share some cake.
We'll eat some cake on live stream and everything. So Thursday night, guys. That is currently the plan. Thursday night.
We will.
Which is literally, that'll be 24 hours before it kicks off. Are you going to have any United or Leicester players so that on that Friday night you'll have something to cheer on?
No. No.
No, me neither.
But
me neither. I don't think so.
So when this happened last season, we didn't realise that it was starting on a Friday night. We booked date night, so we were out. We kept getting, and it was a really good game, wasn't it?
Savage.
It was like 4-3. Do you remember? And we kept getting the updates from the cinema.
I do remember it. So guys, we will see you next Thursday for what will be a game week 1 preview. We've already got the graphics from Luke. Thanks to Luke Walkinshaw again for the fantastic graphics that he's doing.
Have we? You haven't shown me.
Yeah, well, I think he's going on holiday actually, so we did it in advance. And the two,
what a star he is! He can have a wooden spoon.
So he'd be absolutely delighted. But the 2 players that he's put on the graphic, I said to him, you need them to do well that game week, otherwise we've got to last minute change it. And one of them's Leroy Sané, so we might need to change that. But Luke, thank you if you're watching. Thank you, Luke, because Luke is responsible for all the graphics, the new banner that you guys can see on the Twitter page. Luke is responsible for all of that. So at LX_designs, you can find him in my followers list. Really, really top guy, top lad, doing all of our graphics for us this year. So Luke, thank you as ever. That is it. That is the season previews done.
I can't believe it.
It's crept up on. I think it's crept up, hasn't it? I think the World Cup has made the summer go very, very quickly.
Well, and I know this week in August it always goes quickly in this last week building up to the league starting, because we personally have a lot going on. So it's like all of a sudden I kind of feel like I've got to get it right now in the next couple of days.
Got to start locking it in. Absolutely right. So guys, see you Thursday. Follow us on Twitter at FPLFamily. On Instagram, if you want to chat with Sam, at FPLFamily. I think Let's Talk FPL with Andy has started. If it hasn't started already, it'll be starting imminently.
Get yourselves over there.
So get yourself over to Andy's stream. Start interacting on there. We'll be hopping on, I guess, in about 10-15 minutes. We're going to make a cup of tea. I'll be on. It's Love Island, the reunion. So you're going to be watching that.
Well, no, because... it depends. It depends how long it takes Andy to upset me and what he's going to say. I'll be on for a bit, and then when he upsets me, I'll watch Love Island.
What did he say last time?
I don't know. He was having a go at me for something, wasn't he?
Something about having no Spurs ever. Kane not in his drafts.
Probably. I don't know. He upset me, and then I went off in a strop, and then he came back again because he said something I approved of. So guys, ignore everything Sam's saying. Andy's a top streamer. So get over to Let's Talk FPL, and I will see you there in a little while. Guys, thank you for joining us as ever. Like the vid, subscribe. See you on Twitter, and we'll see you next Thursday. Cheers. Thanks, guys.